Hi, my name's Craig. Today I want to show you how easy it is to make your own beer at home. There's a lot of complicated ways and there's a lot of simple ways of doing it. A lot of the methods that I've seen on YouTube, to me, look a little complicated. Some of those methods, I don't think I would have the patience to do them.
Hi there, it's Craig here. Today we're going to do what's called a mini mash. Okay? Now this is a method of brewing beer that's a little bit of a step up from just doing it from a kit. We're actually going to do what's called a mash, but we don't have to buy any extra equipment to do this. So if you've just been brewing from canned malt extract and adding dextrose to your beer and you want to step up your game a little bit, this is what you want to go for. Partial extract and mini mash are sort of the same thing, except that from what I understand, mini mash is more part of the fermentable grains that you're going to be using are actually going to be steeped or mashed by you, as opposed to a partial extract brew, which is your fermentables are mostly in the malt extract and you add some specialty grains. What I'm doing today is called a mini mash, and again, this is a gray area, but from what I can understand is that I'm going to call this a mini mash because I have two-row grains here in addition to specialty grains, and I'm not even going to put them in a bag. I'm going to mash them in a pot of water, and then I'm going to control the temperature. Some people who brew all grain brew do this in a cooler. They get a big cooler, they do what's called a mash, and the cooler is called a mash tun, and they do what I'm about to do in a cooler with 12 pounds of two-row and some specialty grains thrown in. That's all grain brewing, okay? What I'm about to do is a mini version of that, which is why it's called a mini mash. So what I do have here, I have a can of liquid malt extract. It's an amber malt extract, okay? It's a black rock I have. And I have 1.1 pounds of dry malt extract as well. Same thing, amber, okay? So it's probably going to be a little darker beer than just a normal two-row. Although the Black Rock kit does say in the bottom here it's made from 100% two-row barley, okay? And my grains here, I have, just show them here, I have 2.2 pounds of two-row, and I have 1.1 pounds of Crystal 60. Now if you want to hear that in metric, it's 1 kilogram of two-row and 500 grams of Crystal 60. Okay? And I mashed these, I ground them myself. When you buy grains, they come whole, and if your homebrew supplier has a grain mill, usually they will do it for you. If you have to do it yourself, then that's a whole different video, okay? If you don't have a grain mill, you're going to have to be innovative. And I got a little bit innovative with this, and I think you can see that I actually came up pretty good. I didn't get lots of flour at the bottom, and I mashed them up pretty good, or ground them up pretty good, so they're not pulverized. They're just, I think they look just about perfect. And I actually, when I got the kit from morebeer.com, it came with pre-ground grains. So I studied the way they looked and I used that as a basis for how I ground these up, and I think I did pretty good. If you're going to get serious about this and do it more often, you really should get yourself a grain mill. If you can get a used one, that would be great. I'm looking around right now for one myself, but in the meantime, we got it done. Okay, that's all that matters. I've got a pot here. I've got a digital thermometer. I have a kettle. I have all my regular brewing equipment that you normally would use when you make beer, and you'll see that along the way as we go. What I've done here, I have a second pot that I'm going to use to actually do a boil. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do the mash. That means we're going to basically soak these grains in hot water at a certain temperature for a certain amount of time to extract the sugars and the flavors from them. And then we're going to pour that through a filter or a sieve into this pot, where I'm then going to proceed to boil the wort and add some of these other things over here. I also forgot to mention that I have 2 hop additions. This is a Cascade hop I have. It's about 1 ounce of Cascade. That's what I'm going to use for my bittering. And I have about 0.8 ounces of Northern Brewer hops here that I'm going to use for flavor hop. Okay? Now this recipe is kind of my own creation. It ought to be fun. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do is turn on my stove and heat up my water. I have about, I'd say about a gallon of water in here. Okay? That's fine. And I have a kettle on standby with hot water in it. If I need to add some water to this, I can. Got my digital thermometer in there all ready to take readings. Just leave that down there. And I also, along with my extra pot, I have a funnel which has a filter in it and a strainer. Okay? You see that I'm going to pour the mash through this into the second pot and get rid of all the spent grains and hops. Okay, that's basically what I've decided to do. Okay, so my little setup here is basically got like a coat hanger. Goes on there. That holds the funnel, and then I just put my strainer on top, and hopefully everything will work out. So that'll be fun. Okay, so what we're trying to do here is we're trying to get to a temperature of, I've decided 155. Okay, it's very quickly getting up to 150. I've turned the burner to the lowest possible setting. It's at 149. I'm going to get it up to about 163 before I add the grains. See, the reason I'm going above 155 is because when I add the grains, it's going to cool it off and I'm going to be stirring it. Pour these in. I'm not going to do them all at once. Just do a few of them. Give it a stir. Watch our temperature. It's 156. I know it's a little high. It'll come down. It smells amazing. Okay, we're down to 153. That's fine. Awesome. So there's our mash. Stirring it up. And what I'm going to do is just put the cover on. And I'm going to mash this for probably, I don't know, I've decided to do it for about 45 minutes. My temperature is at 151. And I'm thinking to myself that that's pretty much where I'd like to keep it. So I'm just going to keep an eye on this and let it mash for 45 minutes, keeping an eye on the temperature, controlling the heat, and we'll go to the next step. It smells good. So I successfully mashed those grains at between 153 and 156. I was able to keep the temperature right in that area. So I'm happy about that. I did it for an hour. So I'm going to pour this through my sieve and through my funnel with the filter into my boil pot. You got a little bit of spillage there. I kind of knew that would happen. So we're going to just wait until it all goes down. And it's going. Just grab my spoon here and sort of smooth that out. The grains absorb water, so they expand. So I don't know what's going to happen here. I think I'm going to have a bit of a problem with the volume of grains that we're going to have. Because what I want to do after this is sparge these grains with hot water, about 170 degrees Fahrenheit, and make sure we get all the stuff out of them. Okay, so I have a lot more grain than I can actually fit in my colander here. Not a lot more, but just a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sparge this grain, get rid of it, and then do the next part here. There we go. Okay, so the next step in this process is to bring this to the boil. This is the wort we made from the grains, okay? And it's quite sweet. Nice color, okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to add, once we get this close to the boil, we're going to add our dry malt extract. And once we reach our hop rate to get everything under control, we'll add our first hop addition. Thank you for watching again. Another few weeks we'll have a taste test on that brew, see how it turned out. And I want to mention that all the ingredients that I used in this brew came from Complete Home Brewing, my local home brew shop. If you live in my neck of the woods, you can check out www.completehomebrewing.com and look at what they've got in stock, and I highly promote them. They've been a good help to me and very good to me over the years, and I'm very loyal to them as well. So, very good little shop. That's it. I'm excited about this one. I hope you'll stay tuned. I've got upcoming videos, including showing you what's inside here. Okay, I got a gift from somebody recently. It's quite heavy, actually. It was sent to me, and we'll take a look at what's inside. It's not a liquid. Okay, so we'll check that out very soon, and we'll be doing more videos on lots of things. You know what I'm up to. You know what I've been talking about. All that's coming up. Thanks for watching. Stick around. Subscribe, rate, comment, all that stuff. Thank you, and we'll see you soon. Bye.